So we'll be moving with the second part. So from here we'll be actually making our website, making our part. Okay, so now imagine you are making a portfolio, right? What are the things you require? You require one header here, like something like this is Rahon. After that, blah 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 blah, like I am this, I am this, I am doing this. Here you will have your photo, here you will like blah blah blah. Okay, then you will showcase your skills here. I have this skills, I have this extracurricular skills. Okay, so here you will show your tech skills, here you will have your another skills. Okay, other skills. Then what you will show, you can show your education, and with below your education you can show your like projects. Okay, then below that one contact form. So here like you will have your phone number, WhatsApp number, email ID, and one form that hey, type your name, email ID, and some messages, and click enter, just like just like this. So if you go to my portfolio here, like contact me, your full name, blah blah blah, your email, and write your message, blah blah blah. So submit. So let me check if it has come. See, here is a message to my email ID. It says blah blah blah. Okay, so here also you can see thank you, I will get back to you ASAP. So you can see here, so there's some backend is going on, like not exactly backend, but there's some stuff is going on, API stuffs are going on here, so we'll be making that also, right? Then finally we'll be making our like this contacts, like LinkedIn, GitHub, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook links. Then after that something like this, and we will also have like a beautiful navigation buttons like this, so that see this. Okay, so we'll be making these things. So first we'll be making one by one part. Okay, so we'll be making this part first, this header part first. Okay, so along we'll be learning HTML and CSS while we build this project. Okay, you don't have to know HTML and CSS, I'll be teaching you along with this project. Okay, so let's get started. Next part, so just close this. Next part, go to source, right click here, new folder, name it as components. Okay, name it as components because we'll be making like different components now, so we'll be storing those folders here. And another folder in source itself, name it as assets. Assets means like you will be using your photos, etc., right? So we'll be using this photo, background, wallpapers, etc. here. Now right click on component, new folder, name it as header. Remember, this should be small letter. Okay, everything should be not the small letter, capital letter. Okay, the first letter should be capital. Header dot no, folder name can be anything, but keep it header, and right click on header, create a new file. So this should be capital, header.jsx. So now you may ask, what the fuck is .jsx? Okay, so .jsx is like nothing but an extension for like React and all, because it's basically like JavaScript with HTML. So what we'll do, remember this word RAFCE, type enter. So it will work only and only if you have installed ES7. So if it's not working, then search ES7, go to this ES7 plus by DSN Cheddar, whatever, click here, click install. So after installing this, go here, what RAFCE, click. So now see what has happened. It imported React. From React it created something, constant function, something like a function named header. It's a arrow function. You can see, if you know a little bit of JavaScript, then you know that this is a arrow function. This is an arrow function. Okay, so it basically created a function, and this function returns HTML. So what is this? This is nothing but HTML. So this div is a container. Okay, you know container means a box. So imagine a box, this is container. So this container can be written as div in HTML. Okay, so div. So basically it is creating a function named header, and header has some HTML components like div. It can have other components too, and this file is exporting this function. So this is exporting. So that means this header file, header.jsx, is exporting these things. That means we can import this header somewhere else too. Right, this has been like exported from here. So where we will be like imported, it can be imported in any file. Okay, any JavaScript file, but our main focus is to render it to here, right? Render it to where? Here on this blank page, and this blank page is rendered by app.js, where by this app.js. That means we need to include this header file here, right? How to include? Just how to include? Slash not slash, arrow, HEADER. Not this. Okay, so write this header. Header is exported, right? So import here header, right, like this. But is it really imported now? No. To import this, click on this word and press spacebar, not spacebar, actually I forgot actually what was this. Let me remember. Okay, Okay, till I remember, you can manually do like this. Okay, this can be like imported as click here, control space. Okay, see here it is like header. It says that this header component is in dot component dot header dot header. Okay, like it's showing, basically showing its directory. So click this. So this is imported, import header from blah blah blah. Okay, so basically it is importing header from where, from from here header.jsx. Okay, so now if we go here, you can see this header is coming, right? Okay, now what we'll be making our header. So what we'll do, we'll be making our header. Let's check. Yeah, it's working. We'll be making our header. Okay, now we'll dive into HTML and CSS. So every items may have, every components of HTML may have a class name, class. Okay, so why class is needed? Like suppose we have a button here, like we have a button here like this, but what we want to do, we want to like make this button as beautiful as like this. Okay, we want to give it some another color like this. So how you will target it? Okay, so I previously this box name is like div, this container name is div, but there may be like different divs, right? So there may be one div, another div, another div. So how we will tell our CSS file that hey, CSS, we are targeting this div only, not this but this only. How will do that? To do that we use class. Okay, so let us name this as class. So class name what? Header container. So basically this is our parent container. That means this container contains our header. Inside this div we'll be having one so just imagine, what do we need? We need, this is me, then a little description. So we need 3 lines, right? We need 3 lines. So quickly let us write 3 lines here. To write lines we use h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6, and here h1 is like the subset, the bigger one, and h6 is like smaller one. Am I correct? Actually I forgot. Okay, checking. I'm having some issues here. Okay, so to write lines, note this. So take a note of this. Okay, to write lines in HTML we use h1, h2, h3, h4, h5. Okay, so here 1 2 3 4 just tells us the size. If we change this to h1, you can see it's like bigger. Okay, if we use h5, you can see it's smaller. So the order is like this. To write like single lines we may use this. Also we can use p for paragraphs. Okay, p tag like this. P, I am blah 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 if it, um, so you can use p tag to write paragraphs like this. And you may like think, what if we need a next line? So for next line you can use br tag. Really? So br is a self-closing tag. This is a new line. See, we got a new line here. So there are two types of tag. One is like closing tag. See, this p has one opening tag and like one closing also, but this br doesn't have this. So there are some like self-closing tags also. Okay, after that, got it. You can use another tag named as small. I'm small. So see, this is smaller, right? So it's like basically a p. It's like p tag, but it's small. You can use strong. I am strong. See, it's like bold. Okay, so to write lines, paragraphs, you will use this p small, strong. Okay, so now we need three lines, right? So what we'll do, first we will be needing one is h5 tag. I am. Then h2 tag. A boss. Then we need another smaller one, h4. Okay, check it. It says I'm the boss, I am making this portfolio. Now okay, let us quickly do one thing. Go to app.css, remove this text align center, remove this app logo, remove this, remove this, minimum height, background color, remove this, flex direction, line item center, remove this. Basically remove everything. Say remove like everything. Go to index.css. Not do anything here. In future, if we change our fonts and all, we will be using this. Now app.css, just no need to do anything here for now. Okay, see, this is here now. Now let us quickly learn about these elements, this is inspecting tool. Okay, so how to enable this? Just right click, click inspect. So here you can see all our codes here. Body, okay. So what we have to do now, we have to like bring this to here, right here. So for that we will be using CSS. Okay, where on this folder, because we are using this header, right? So inside header we have this header.js file. So here we will create one new file, name it as header.css. Click enter. So header.css. So here we will be targeting what? This. First we will target this header container. Okay, header container. So to target this, we will write a dot, write our class name, header container, then this. Now we will write some CSS property. Now let us quickly understand what is display property. Okay, so there are two type of display property mainly. One is flex and another is grid. So grid, you know, it's like self-explanatory already. Basically this is grid. Suppose imagine we have to make something like this. Here will be one item, one item, one item, one item, one item, one item. So we can use grid here, display grid here. So in grid everything will be like you know, symmetry type, and in all other cases we will be using flex. And also remember that whatever we can do with grid, we can do it flex too. So most of the time I use flex only. Okay, so first property, display flex. Flex direction column. Now you know already what this direction is. Suppose this is our box, we have different items like h1 here, one name here, another name here, another name here. So what is this direction? This direction is like row, right? It is row wise. So in such cases we'll be writing flex direction as row. But here what we need, here we need to do this my name here, here. So we will be needing like flex direction what? Column. But you may ask, like earlier there was not any like flex direction column, then why it is like coming in column only? So by default display flex direction is what? Column. It is like by default. You may like write or not write, it will be like column only. Okay, after that let us check temporarily, let us check border. Is there any border? No. So there is not any change because we haven't imported this header.css into here. See, we have our header.css, but how this file will know that like this class name header container is targeted here? How this like file for this function will know? So we have to import, right? So to import that, what we'll do, import header.css, because it's in the same folder, no? So that's why dot slash. Okay, so we'll check later if it's in different folder. What we'll do, we'll check that later, but because it's in the same folder, we are writing import header blah blah blah. Okay, now check. There is a red border here and it's like, okay, see, it's overflowing. This is our box size. Okay, see, header is like 5 rem. Okay, what is rem? Rem is a unit. There are different types of unit of measuring. Okay, one is rem, m, and ph, vw, vmax, vmin. Okay, pixel. So so we will be using pixels. Remember this, we will be using this pixel unit in radius. Suppose we have to set some radius, we will use pixel. Okay, and like font size, we will use pixel, and rest of this rem and this unit is like constant. Okay, so let us quickly understand the difference of this unit. So let's imagine you have a screen. This is a laptop screen, this is a mobile screen. Okay, so if you use RAM, then the size will be like constant for both the screen. Suppose this is 5 RAM. Okay, Then for the laptop, it's like not relatively 5, it will be like constant, it will be this size only. Okay, so RAM and M are constant, it doesn't change according or with respect to the screen size of the devices. But if you use view height, VH means view height, VW means view width. So if we need to use like width, then we will use VW. If we need to like use height, then we will be using like VH. Okay, suppose we set 90, not 90%, let's consider 60% VH. That means it is saying that 60% of this screen. Okay, so this unit is like 60% of this screen. VW, let us say. So it is saying that 60% of this screen, and for this screen 60% of the screen. So VW VH is like relative according to the device screen. And similarly Vmax, Vmin, view maximum, view minimum. Okay. So this is the basic units we'll be using. And border takes 3 parameters. This is the border size, 1 pixel. If we like increase into like 30 pixel, see what happens. Border size has increased, right? Then solid, that means we need a solid border, and then color. Okay, but this is overflowing, and overflowing may not be good for us, because see, this is our like box size, component size, your very container size, but the text is like overflowing. To tackle it, what we'll be doing, app.css, no need these things, we don't need. We will just target everything by star, and we will be like so we will target HTML's body, and we'll say that overflow X hidden, overflow Y. That means we are saying that whatever is overflowing in X and Y direction in our body and HTML codes, just hide them. So see, now these are hidden. Okay, we don't need this text align center, and for everything like gap 0, for app let us keep this for later, if needed we'll write our code. Okay, now height 5 rem, we need more height, right? So suppose 50 20 rem. So we'll be just doing like hidden trial. Okay, here it says, hey, I am the boss, I am making this portfolio. Okay, now we need to like bring this to middle, right here, middle. So how we'll do that? So how we will do that? We will use another CSS property, align items center. So see, whatever in this header container, it will be like aligned to center. So align items may have align items to right, which it is like, okay. So align items cannot be right, bottom, maybe bottom, not working yet. So let it be center only. And another is justify content. Let's check if it is working now. Yeah, so let us understand what is align items and justify. Okay, suppose this is our container. If we say align items, suppose this was an object here, suppose we say align, that means it will work this way, vertically. Okay, align works on vertically. If we say align like center, that means it will come vertically on center. Okay, so whenever we say that hey, align item, then it will come to center. See this, if we remove this, okay, for some reason it is already aligned to center, but in some cases it's like only aligned like this. I know why it like this only. To bring to center from left and right, we write this justify content. Okay, am I wrong here? Justify content center, align items. So let us check once what is alignment, what is this justify content doing. Okay, so justify content is actually like doing the vertical thing, right? Probably something wrong going on here. Okay, let it be. If it is working, then it is working. Our main motive was to like bring it to center. Okay, so now this is in center. After that, see, there is a lot of gap here. Okay, so I don't know why there is a lot of gap here. I'll just try to like figure it out why there is a lot of gap here. H5. Okay, so as I can see, whenever I when I am like hovering over this, so you can see the boss is in blue color, and above that there's some light, there's like some orange yellow color going on, right? So let us go here. Here you can see this blue color, blue color is our like this is the main box. Okay, this is main box, and here blue color is like saying that yeah, this is the main component. And the green color, it is like padding. After that, this is border, this is margin. So it's saying like you have a lots of margin here. You can see it, the color is matching, right? You see here you have no border, you have no padding, but you have a lots of margin by default. We haven't set any margin, but here is lots of margin. So to tackle that, we'll just go here. App means everywhere. What we'll do, margin, right? Margin 0. That means by default we don't need any margin. Is it fixed? No. Padding, we also need 0. Remove this cap. I will just copy these two, paste it here. Let us check. Okay, so we just said that for everything, star means everything, we don't need any default margin or padding. Okay. But is it actually looking good? No, we a little margin, or we need a little padding, right? So let us quickly understand what is margin and padding. Suppose this is a box, okay, and inside this box we have something here, like we have something here. This is like, this can be anything, this can be a button, this can be with some text, paragraphs, etc. Now if we say padding, so padding is this area. Wait, so padding is this area inside the box. If we apply padding anywhere, that means like we are squeezing the box, like we are squeezing the box. Okay, and if we apply margin anywhere, that means like outside the box. Okay, like outside the box. So if we apply margin, that means from the original box, give me some space outside the box. If we say padding, give me some space inside the box. Okay, suppose you have a room. If you are saying padding, that means you are saying that here I need some space, like border space inside the box. So padding is what? Padding is inside, margin is outside. You got it? Okay. So what we need here, see, this is our main component. We like need some space outside the box, right? So what we will do, we will add a little margin. But where can we add a little margin? Here, header does here, margin of 2 rem. Can we do this? No, because see, we are targeting this box, header container. See here, header container. Inside this header container we have these items, right? So if we apply margin here, this margin will be applied to the box only. See, now the box has margin, this box has margin, you see. Okay, so that means we can't apply margin here. But can we do this like target? Now see, if we add a class name here, class name like name, and we target here, we target this class, and we add a margin of 3 rem. Will this work? Yeah, see, IM has now margin. Okay, so let us quickly understand padding here also. Let us, I just will I'll give some border here to pixel solid blue, and I will add some padding here. See what happened. Margin means like outside the box it got some space, because outside the box and the boss, these two items now have a space because I applied some margin, right? And now see, inside this box also, like there is space. If I remove this padding, if I remove this padding, now see what happened. Oh, no space, because no space inside, because I removed the padding. Again, if I add some padding like 15 pixel, see, some padding will be applied here. Okay, so now you understood what is margin and padding. Now so what we actually needed margin. Now only this item got margin, right? We need for the boss and these two. So can I do this, like give a, just give a class name here, give the same class name. We can like provide the same class name to different items, okay? Because that means if we provide the same class name to different item, what will happen? So every different items will have the same property because the class name is same, so these will have the same property. Okay, so see, we got some space. Okay, because we targeted all three, so all three has now, like this has some margin, this has some margin, this has some margin. Okay, but was it efficient? We had to write class name 3 times for every item. If there are more items here, more div here, we have to write like many times class name, right? So how you will like overcome this problem without writing different class name? We have one property, CSS property called gap. So I don't need to explain what is gap, right? So gap means where we will apply it, not here, not in name. We will apply it here under parent container. You will say that we will say that like, hey parent container, like hey boss, this is boss container, right? You have so many items. Do one thing, give some gap in between each item. Okay, we are saying that hey boss, give some gap to each item, like gap. How much gap we need? Probably 1 rem. Let us check, hit and try. Is it looking good? I will remove the border. Okay, so border was just to check the, like, if I hadn't put the border, I wouldn't figure out that like it's overflowing, right? That's how I like debug things. Temporarily I put some border, temporarily I do some things and like try to debug what's happening and try to fix that. So see, now this is looking good. Okay, now if I remove this, it is looking good, but still I'm like feeling like gap is a little more, right? So 1 rem, can I do it 0.5 rem? Yeah, it's now looking fine, but I am making this portfolio, it's like too bold. Okay, can we change it to, can we change this h4 to like ptech only? Yeah, looking good. Similarly I will change this to p. Okay, now it's looking good, but I think here is like a little bit gap from look at this search box, and I am here is like a little bit more gap, like we need a less amount of gap here, like margin here. So why this is happening, if you go here, if we like reduce the height of the border, okay, let's see border, see what the fuck. See this border, so this border is like too large, right? The height is a little bit more for this little thing. So for this part, the overall the total box is like a little like this more height, so we need to reduce the height. So instead of 20, just give it 10. Is it looking good now? I think yes. Now remove the this. Now check this, it's looking good. So I am the boss, I am making this portfolio. So we made our header. Okay, so on our next video we'll be making the other part. We'll be making this button, this, we'll be making like the school background here. Okay, I'll be also telling you how I made these bubbles, these cases, this solar system. You can click this solar system, you see. You can click this solar system, like projects. So these musical items, these cases, and this background, how I set that background, we'll obviously build this on our next part.